This is an intermediate stretching video. Let's go into a butterfly sit. It is, you put out your legs and you're wanting to do, so it looks like you're sitting down, and we're going to do 3 neck rolls on each side. Next, we're going to push down on our knees to get a little bit of more stretch. Now you're going to want to get up, and we're going to make sure our back is straight, and we're going to go down into a downward dog. Make sure to do this very slowly so your back doesn't start to bend. Now we're going to go into a pike stretch, which is you're putting out your legs and make sure they're flat on the ground. Make sure your knees are not up. And right now we're going to do a pike stretch. So you're going to want to flex, and you can grab onto your toes and lift them. And you could also do them pointed, which you would want to grab onto your ankles. Now, it's either one. You can do the flexing or the pointing, whichever one you think is like better of a stretch for you. And now we're going to, it's kind of like a straddle, except one of the legs is bent. And now we're going to go over on top of the leg.
And now we're going to go right on top.
Now, right now you can either do nose to knee or chin to knee, which is a little bit harder. Now we're going to put our forehead to touching the ground.
We're going to do this, and we're going to try to touch our forehead to the ground.
Now we are going to transition into our chest so it can go over our knee. Now we're going to do the other side. So over the top. Nose to knee is next. Now, this will be a little bit harder. So if you want, you can put your chin over on top of your knee, or make sure your leg is not bending if you do it. Now we're going to touch our forehead to the ground. Now we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side, which is put our chest on top of our knee. Next we're going to, it's kind of like a butterfly, except you're crossing over one of your legs on top of your other leg as if it was trying to go over to the other hip. And if you want to, you can just leave it there, and so it has a little bit of a stretch. If not, you can push down on the leg to give a little bit of a more stretch.
And if you want to add a little bit of an
Now we're going to do the other side. So grab the foot, make sure it's pointed, put it over to the other side of the hip, and push down your knee. Next, we're going to do, it's kind of like a leg grab when you're sitting down. So you're going to be sitting down, make sure you are comfortable and you are balanced, and you're going to want to grab your leg and lift it up as if you were in a leg grab, but you're sitting down.
Make sure to keep your hips on the ground, because if they're all the way up like this, that's bad.
And make sure you are not make sure your hip is not like on top, like above the ground.
Do that on the other side.
Next, we're going to do the other side. So let's sit down, get balanced,
Here.
and make sure your leg is turned out while you're doing this. Next, we're going to go into a straddle, and you can either do, so going to go over on top. So it's a little bit of a hard stretch, but you want to make sure you want to make sure your shoulder is on the ground, or you can just go as far as you can. Now you can do either nose to knee or chin over the knee. Now just make sure your leg isn't bending like that. If it is, just go with the easier one. Next, we're going to do the other side. So now we're going to do our nose to knee, and again you can do chin over the knee. Next, we're going to put our stomach to the ground, and we're going to stay there, which it's not in the middle, but it's over diagonally, so it's going to be towards like kind of a leg. Now we're going to do the other side. Now we're going to try to put our stomach to the middle. Now we're going to do a leg grab. So you're going to want to do it where you're balanced and try not, if you're tipping over, then put down the leg a little bit lower to the ground. And make sure you're balanced doing this, and you're going to pick it up, and so it's going to be a leg grab. Now we're going to do the other side. So it sometimes takes a couple times to try to keep it up there, but if you need to, you can go close to a wall to try to balance. Now we're going to do a couple of kicks. So we're going to do 5 kicks on each side. Now let's do 5 kicks on the other side. And also make sure when you're doing this, your hip's not going like totally off center, because if it is, then that's a sign that you need to lower down your kicks a little bit. Now we are going to do lunges. So you can start on whichever side you would like to start your lunges on. Just make sure you are doing them. Do a lunge, and you're going to try to touch your thigh to the ground while you're doing this. Now, we're going to put down our elbows. Now you're going to kick up your back leg and try to grab it. So, like this. So now we're going to transition into this. So right now you can either, so you're going to basically put all the pressure on your hips. It might hurt a tiny bit, but just go until it doesn't hurt. So you can do holding on to the leg if you're off balance, or just put your hands on your hips. Next, we're going to transition into an opposite lunge, which is kind of like your front leg is straight and your back is bent. So we're going to put our hand over our front leg. And now we're going to put that same arm, try to put it underneath the leg. And now we're going to do the other side. So now we're going to try to go down to our elbows. Now we're going to kick up our back leg, and we're going to grab onto it. Now you can either push on your hips to put pressure, or you can hold on to your leg if it's easier. Now we're going to do an opposite lunge, which is the front leg is straight and the back one is bent. So we're going to go over on of the top of the front leg and hold it there. And then we're going to go underneath the leg. going to lay down sideways, and we are going to kick up our leg and put it over so it's a stretch. We're gonna go as far as you can go, and just make sure you're not lifting up the bottom leg, so it's completely, you're laying down and you're just holding up your leg. So make sure you're not leaning back. If you want, you can lay against a wall, it's your choice. So we're just gonna hold it up there. Now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to hold up our leg and hold it up there. Now you want to go get a pillow of some sort or anything you can put your foot on that will make your foot like above the ground a little bit, higher than the other foot. So we're going to do a straddle like this. You can put the pillow on whichever side you want, and you're going, because either way we're going to do both sides. So we're going to go over the top of the leg, now we're going to do either nose to knee or chin to knee. Your choice. Just make sure it looks okay and not awkward. Next, we're going to do the other side leg. So I'm going to go over the top. And make sure while you're doing this, none of your legs are being bent, or just so make sure they're straight. So now we're going to touch our nose to knee or chin to knee. Now we're going to do our diagonals, just like we did without the pillow. So we're going to touch our stomach to one side, and now the other side. And now we're going to touch our stomach down to the middle. Now we're going to do the other side. So we're going to switch the pillow onto the other side leg. So we're going to do basically all of the things we did on the other side, but on this side. So over the top. Now we're going to do nose to knee or chin to knee. Over on top of the knee, so basically putting the chin over the knee would be a little bit more advanced than nose to knee. So now we're going to do over the top to the other leg. Now we're going to do nose to knee, or of course chin to knee. attach our stomach to the side, to each side, and then we'll do the middle. Now let's touch our stomach to the other side. So now we're going to touch our stomach to the middle of the straddle. So that was the straddle on top of the pillow. And now we're going to do the splits on top of the pillow. This will help your oversplit and just get you closer to your split. So we're going to hold this. Now we're going to do the other side, so transfer the pillow to the other side, and so we're going to do the other side split. So now we do not need the pillow anymore, so you can go put it away. So now to see the transformation of our splits, we're going to hold each split for 30 seconds, about 30 seconds. So I'm going to do the middle first. So you get to do whichever order of splits, whatever you want. If you're doing my order, then my next split will be on the right side. So now we're going to do the last side that you haven't done, which is, for me, the left side. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Bye! The reason why it was so hard during the video was because there was a hole in the log, so